many years do you think you're gonna live? Morbid, I know. We don't like to think about our own mortality, but just do it. Now take that number in your head, set it aside, and now I want to ask you, if college is supposed to be the best 4 years of your life, what are you going to do for the rest of your life, bestie? Because I assume that you did not say 22. And so before we even get into this video, I want you to let go of that expectation and stop putting so much pressure on yourself to make college the best 4 years of your life. Is it going to be an incredibly formative 4 years of your life? Yes. It's gonna be a fire 4 years of your life? Yes, but it doesn't have to be the best. And I think once we let go of that pressure, we can start really chatting. Okay, cool, now that we're on the same page. Hey you, it's Katie U, and for those of y'all who don't know me, I am a senior studying media and econ at Brown University, and it's crazy because the moment that you figure out college, they boot you out and you graduate. And so the most utility that I can expunge out of the situation is to expend all the knowledge that I have learned over the past 4 years of my time in college, because there is a lot. The lighting is changing so much, I'm literally about to cry. Let me get my ring light, girl. No, the sun is setting. We clearly failed the assignment. We turned it in late because the sun has pretty much set and we have not even started. So we're gonna submit the assignment anyways. Today, I am going to give you the fire 5 tips to surviving college that I wish some older sister had sat me down and shaken my shoulders and told me. The first tip that I want to tell you is that college fantasy of having a huge friend group with every single personality that sings Kumbaya around a fire and goes to beaches and goes on trips together, that's a lie, okay?
Hi kids, welcome to Camp Chippewa. And let's all sing Kumbaya.
We don't want no Kumbaya. All we want is
You might see a lot of people clicking around you and a lot of connections forming and these big friend groups parading around campus. Just know it's all a charade. And if you, by chance, are not establishing those wide-forming connections, you might ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I connect and click? That's what I found myself doing. But let me just reassure you that any big group has politics. By simple human science, you just cannot realistically be besties with every single person in a friend group. However, when we're younger, and we don't know this yet, we tend to put these big groups on a pedestal because we're taught that numbers and size equal how high our social status is or how fulfilled we are or how connected we are, when in reality, the value is the depth and the authenticity of the true connections that you're able to explore to the very bottom. And I wish somebody had told me so I was ready to have so many evolving social circles and boil it down to literally people that I can count on one hand. I don't know what your social life will look like by the end of your college career, but I guarantee you, you will come away with at least 2 people that you know you can call when you run into a problem or you feel like something is on the line. And that's all we can ask for, really. My second tip is, college is not about learning the what, it's about the how. It's not about the content, it's about the process. You might have heard the quintessential saying of like,
your degree doesn't really matter.
that is because college is simply training you to react in a well-mannered way when life throws shitty situations at you. College teaches you how to grind, how to work under pressure, how to meet deadlines, how to communicate. It doesn't matter if you're calculating statistics, it doesn't matter if you're doing a lab, it doesn't matter if you're coding for a problem set. What you're learning and honing at the end of the day is those critical life skills that you can apply to any avenue of your life. There is so much more to glean from the college experience: networking, friends, professors, extracurriculars, starting companies, starting careers, internships. It's not about the academics. It's not just about the report card anymore. Let me just be honest with you. I have taken 32 classes at Brown University, and of them, only 2 were directly applicable to my career. Yeah. One was where I learned how to video edit using Premiere Pro. We all know why that's useful. I wonder why. And the other class was called the Entrepreneurial Process, which was such a hands-on class. He literally said to us, come up with a business, start a company, pitch it to investors, figure it out. You got this. And we learned so much. I learned so much. It has absolutely changed the way that I approach my business. That actually reminds me, it's a huge coincidence that I'm filming and uploading this video at this time, because the book that my professor wrote that pretty much encapsulates this entire class just launched yesterday actually, and this is literally the cover. It quite literally changed my life and how I approach YouTube and how I'm approaching my entire career journey after I graduate. So I highly do recommend that. But what I'm saying is classes like that are extremely rare. If these 2 classes were teaching me the actual ropes of the game, the other 30 was just executing, repeating, drilling so that I'm in shape for whenever a trial comes my way. The third token and tidbit of wisdom that I would like to impart on you all, the only thing you can be sure about is that there's nothing that you can be sure about. So go into this next era of your life expecting to be proven wrong, expecting to change your mind, and expecting to not know where the heck you are headed. For example, careers. There are so many careers you don't know about yet. In high school, we were brainwashed to believe that there's only like 4. Doctor, lawyer, politician, I don't even know. I definitely did not know that consulting was a thing. I didn't know finance was a thing. I didn't know that you could start your own companies. I knew nothing. Colleges put so much pressure on you to expect to know what you're gonna do with the rest of your life, but in reality, they know in the back of their mind that you don't know what you're gonna do with your life. So go in with an open mind and allow yourself to change paths as many times. I came in as a political science major, and then I realized I do not listen to the news. I do not be tuning into debates. I stay informed in as little capacity as possible. A political science major should be eating that shit up. And instead of putting pressure on myself to continue going down a path that didn't resonate with me just to stick it out was the worst thing that I could have done for myself. And so I easily pivoted. There is this huge stigma and shaming behind quitting things, but when something is no longer serving you or you feel called to go in a different direction, quitting is actually the regal and noble thing that you can do. Don't beat yourself up and truly listen to your intuition. This can also be applied to relationships. There are so many connections that you are going to make but also break over the course of your college career. And that is not because you are a shitty person, that is not because they are a shitty person, it's just growing pains. But let me make clear that an expired relationship does not mean you have beef with that person, it does not mean bad blood, it does not mean we don't speak anymore. It's simply that you are growing, evolving, and upwardly mobile. Upwardly mobile? What? Are we talking about social status? Are we talking about socioeconomic what? It just means that you are growing and evolving, as you should be. My 4th tidbit of wisdom is that you are the only one responsible for both the repercussions and the rewards of your actions. So be very, very careful with whose advice you take to heart and make sure you prioritize your own advice first. For example, if you stay out late to party on a Thursday night, but you have a midterm on Friday morning because your friends are like,
Come out, it'll be so much fun. Ugh, we're not gonna have a good time without you there.
guess who's gonna be taking the midterm hungover on Friday morning? Is it your friends? No, it's you. If you devote your entire college career to studying a path that you are not passionate about just because other people are telling you that it's a good industry or it's a good job or it's good pay, you are going to be the one waking up every day with the job that you hate, going to the office that you despise. It's not gonna be your college counselor, it's not gonna be your parents, it's not gonna be your friends. And do you really want to blow thousands of dollars investing into a passion that is not yours to satisfy the dreams of people who will not live out that dream at the end of the day? Because here's the thing, I witness all the time around me people gravitating toward industries because they admire the security and the safety that it offers. But what I think that mindset fails to take into account is that's just the starting salary, babe. If you are willing to work overtime unpaid because you are passionate about something, that is what will eventually drive you success, that will give you greater returns of investment. Versus if you wake up every day going to a job that you hate, even though it pays well, chances are you're not going to have a lot of upward mobility or promotion because you're not going to be doing the extra mile, going the extra step, because it's not what you're passionate about. Yes, there are certain fields that make more money when you're starting out, but you should only go into those fields if those are truly the fields that speak to you. Life is a marathon and not a sprint. So I would advise you to think beyond the starting salary and the immediate clout and gratification. My final tidbit of wisdom is get rid of the everyone else is doing blank mindset. Everyone else is going out, everyone else is pursuing this field, everyone else is taking this class. Fill in the blank, then Control-Alt-Delete, yeet it in the trash can, all right? And it really makes me think about this quote that I read from Millionaire Fastlane. Obviously, Millionaire Fastlane, like, it's more geared toward economic wealth and building a company. I think the principle still applies, and that's if everyone is doing it, then you want to do something else because everyone isn't wealthy. When everyone is buying houses, sell yours. When everyone is selling stocks, you should buy, and so on. When everyone is doing something, that's a red flag. He has a really savage way of writing, and although what he's tackling is very, very niche, I think it does apply in some abstract sense to life. You have to do things because it is right for you, not because you're trying to conform to some status quo, because that inauthenticity will permeate all of your actions and it just won't motivate you to do anything. You guys never got to know the pre-pandemic me, the pre-YouTube me, but she was a very different girl. And this everyone else is doing blank mindset was something that I was absolutely chained to, tethered to. It dominated my entire life. And I was at a point right before the pandemic of almost switching my entire career path yet again, ditching my passion for media to try to go into consulting or finance, because that is huge niche and field here at Brown. And when everyone around you is doing it, I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I doing the wrong thing and not? But you cannot pay me to look at a spreadsheet. I'd rather hold a plank for an hour. But the fact that I was even contemplating that was really scary. The only reason why I didn't end up pivoting into that field is because COVID canceled all of my internships and sent all of us home, right? You would think that when I got those cancellation emails, I would be really upset. Oh, I did all that work for what? No, I was actually happy. I was happy. I was relieved that I did not have to go and work at these companies. And that was the moment that I was like, okay, Katie, you gotta stop hustling, you gotta stop conforming, and you really have to start running your own race. The moment I started doing that, I picked up a camera, started editing because it's what I love, and 2 years later, I could not be more shocked at how things have fallen into place when my intentions and my goals align with the steps that I'm actually taking in my life. When those two things conflict, it can lead to a lot of despair and existentialism, which is what a lot of college kids go through, and it's normal to go through that. But I want you to take a step back and ask yourself, are you doing things just because you feel that everyone else is doing it? And if you don't, you will get left behind. I also want to read this other quote by Bell Hooks that really hit me in such a good place, and it truly underscores why we feel this huge desire to constantly be in with the crowd and with the hive. And it's, as a culture, we are obsessed with the notion of safety, yet we do not question why we live in states of extreme anxiety or dread. Fear is the primary force upholding structures of domination. It promotes the desire to not be known. When we are taught that safety lies with sameness, then difference of any kind will appear as a threat. I think there's this huge dichotomy and contradiction in society where we are wordlessly pressured to blend in, yet people who stand out and who succeed and who are outliers are incredibly rewarded and admired. And I think the reason why those people are admired is because they are willing to do the things that the rest of us are incredibly scared of doing, which is stepping out of the status quo. It takes a lot of courage to do that, but you are molded for your own purpose, and I truly believe that. Okay, my battery literally died. This is my setup, ahaha. But what was I saying? College is an incredible safe space where you can safely fall on your face and there are safety nets to catch you while you are exploring all these passions that speak to you. Truly take advantage of those opportunities. I feel so emotionally invested in this topic because college has been a life-changing experience for me, and I have absolutely no regrets with how much I learned. And I want to do my best to make sure that as many of you guys watching also leave college with no regrets. And so just lean into everything that speaks to you and everything else will fall into place. I promise you, you got this. You are going to have so much fun. And I'm rooting for you. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything else. I feel like friendship is another huge topic that I do want to tackle. So let me know if you're interested in that. I love you, Euligans, so much. We submitted the assignment late. Clearly it's nighttime now, but we still did quality work as always. I love you. Bye.